What's going on, everybody? It is a beautiful day here in North Carolina, and I just wanted to hop on and make a quick live video because earlier today I posted a fairly simple yet thought-provoking question on my page, which was asking golfers what gives you a better return on investment, equipment or coaching? Between the two, let's just say you invested $1,000 in new clubs or $1,000 in coaching, etc. All things considered, apples to apples, what's going to give you a better return? And it was really interesting because my phone has just been blowing up. A lot of you have had some insight on this, and it's been really fun to listen to all your answers. And so I thought I'd just hop on and share a little bit of what I think about the whole situation and what I learned from some of you guys and your answers. So first off, I want to start with the equipment side. And what I did is I ended up making a little pros and cons list because all things considered, they are both very important parts of playing better golf, right? And to a certain extent, it's kind of a chicken or the egg type thing, which one needs to happen first and so forth. But I want to start with equipment because at the end of the day, equipment is kind of that first and last piece, if you will. It's kind of the top of the pyramid where after you've received some coaching, equipment can really help your game out. So the first point I have towards equipment, the pro side of it, is that with properly fit equipment, your swing essentially becomes an extension of your body, which I think is really important. You always want to make the equipment fit you, don't make you fit the equipment. That goes back to the other side of the debate of, well, what if I don't know how to swing yet? I don't want to learn on clubs that aren't good for me. And we'll get back to that point. But I do think it's really important to have properly fit clubs. That's why I'm a brand ambassador for True Spec Golf. I think they do a great job with this, but that's beside the point. I think also having the right equipment, depending on your level of skill, is going to help reduce your misses, right? As you're learning this process, even if you're not quite perfect yet, if you're not quite hitting the center of the face, you can't quite control your ball flight, the right equipment is going to help you play better. The right equipment is going to minimize that miss, maximize your distance, and just make the game a lot more fun. Also, and this is a little bit of a different tweak here. I was having a conversation a few days ago with one of my students about this, where he travels to play golf, and each time he travels, he rents a set of clubs, even though he has a set of clubs. So the right equipment is going to bring consistency from day to day, and I think that's really important. When you're first starting off, sure, maybe you just use what you can get your hands on so that you can just get the reps in. But at the end of the day, golfers who really spend the time having the same equipment every single round is a huge piece. Then the last little pro that I put towards the equipment side of this debate is that it's only one aspect of the game, right? And maybe this is a con, however you want to look at it. Anyway, I made it out this list, but equipment is just one aspect of the game. There's a lot more to it, and it's not to say that it's not important, because I do believe that at a certain point, the right equipment makes a huge difference, right? Even myself as a professional, if I go out and play with, say, 3, 4, 5 different sets of clubs, each one's going to perform a little bit differently. So it is nice to have something that fits me, that fits my swing, that fits my body, that fits my eye, that fits my feel, and then it just becomes an extension of what it is I'm doing. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, well, how do I get started? Maybe I'm just getting into golf and I don't want to invest in a set of clubs yet. And that's okay, because the other side of the debate is, what about coaching? Now, I'm a little biased toward coaching because I am a coach, but I do think that it's the way to go. I think the most important thing is that when you're with a coach, you can learn right, not twice. Right, and that's a really important one, is that you're learning the right things to do instead of just getting it done and then having to relearn a pattern later. Yes, this process is easier if you have the right fit equipment, but at the end of the day, a coach does more than that. A coach is also going to talk about the strategy of the game. They're going to be able to look into your game. Where are you weak? Are you missing greens? Are you missing fairways? Are you making wrong club selections? What do you do when the conditions aren't ideal? There's a lot of things that go into using the equipment that a coach can help you with, that the equipment alone cannot help you with. I think a coach is also going to help you practice like you play and then play like you practice and have a long-term plan. There was an interesting article that I read back in high school that has always stuck with me where Padraig Harrington, for those of you that know Padraig, he went out and played 18 holes. The first 9 were with his clubs and the second 9 were with clubs with hickory shafts from like the early 1900s. And he shot a couple of strokes. I think he shot something like a 33-35. Right, so 33 with his equipment, and then the next 9 holes he shot a 35 with the old equipment. And so at the end of the day, you can make bad equipment work for sure, as long as you know the other sides of the game. And golf is just a game of who can miss the best. Equipment helps you miss better, but so does good strategy. Right? If you don't put yourself into bad situations, you're going to have a better time there. I think having a coach is going to speed up the learning process. They're going to make sure that you're learning the right things in the right order and help you stick to a process so that you ultimately get better faster. And when you can get better faster, then you can make decisions of, okay, well, what equipment do I like? What do I want to use? Or do I even need new equipment? Right? And then I think the other thing that a coach can do that equipment cannot do is they can look at the other side of hidden weaknesses. And I think this is a huge one. This is a lot of what I teach. And whether you're working with a coach like myself who has a multitude of different certifications and backgrounds, or you're using a team approach, I think it's really important to look at the other aspects that go into playing great golf. How is your health, your wellness, your nutrition, your fitness, your mindset? What are all the other components that go into it? Sure, having the right clubs are going to minimize that miss, but there's still going to be this seed of doubt in your mind, and you're saying, oh man, I'm missing the ball today. And a coach is going to help you through that. They're going to say, hey, even when you're missing shots, even when you're getting down on yourself, how do you get back on that train so that you can start hitting better shots again? And there's a lot more strategy to it. So yes, there's a bit of a back and forth, a chicken and the egg, if you will. Do I get equipment first so I can learn the right way, or do I get a coach so I can learn how to do the right things and just make my equipment work? And I think it's a balance for sure. That being said, a coach is going to take you through the process the right way. They're going to make sure you're doing the right things. They're going to make sure you get the right equipment. They're going to make sure that they get the equipment that's right for you. They're going to make sure that you're doing all the other things. You're eating healthy, you're getting enough sleep, you're practicing the right way, you're focusing on the right things. They're going to help you take that equipment that you've bought and use it the right way. The equipment is just a piece of the equation. Again, not saying it's not important. If you look at the very, very high level players, those that we see on tour, they're going to swear by the fact that the equipment makes or breaks. Right? If they don't have the right equipment, they're not going to play. But they're at that point where they already know the game so well that the equipment is the bigger determining factor. If you're not one of the best in the world, get the coach first. Right? Because that's the bigger return on the investment until you get to those marginal returns. When you get to those marginal returns, yes, getting the right set of clubs is going to be key. It's going to minimize your miss, but you already know what to do. You already know how to use them. And I think the most important thing that I want to just quickly touch on the coaching side is you look at any tournament, any major, males, females, seniors, web.com, Corn Ferry now. I mean, you get the idea. What are they all doing before the round? They're working with their coach. Their coach is right there, standing right beside them, making sure that their head is in the right space, that they're thinking about the game the right way, that they have the right attitude going into the round. Right? There are stories of guys who get brand new putters right before the round and they end up winning. I mean, there's all these things. They break a club, their wedge is in repair. The equipment makes a difference, don't get me wrong, but the coach is going to help you through that entire process. They're going to be there with you every step of the way, at least if they are a good coach. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. I just wanted to hop on because, like I said, I posted this question earlier today on my page. My phone has just been blowing up. So I appreciate all of you that have joined in on this debate. I want the debate to keep going. If you heard something that you agree with, go ahead and comment below. If you heard something that you disagree with, I want to hear why, right? There's no right or wrong. I'm just giving my 2 cents like you all have as well. But let's keep this debate going. I think it's a really healthy one for us to have, especially with the PGA Merchandise Show is coming up in a couple of weeks down in Florida that I'm going to be going to and giving a couple presentations at, and it's a balance right there as well. All the manufacturers come out with all the latest and greatest equipment, and yet all the greatest coaches are down there giving their presentations and educations and seminars. And so it's a really fun time of the year. We're all getting ready for the golf season. It's going to be here before you know it. So let's go ahead. Let's get some interaction going. If you guys are watching this live, hashtag live. If this is a replay, hashtag replay. Let me hear your thoughts. Comment what do you agree with, and let me hear what you disagree with. As always, let's keep the debates fun and healthy. Let's not just tear each other up, but let's have a good talk, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. I'll be talking to you guys soon. I'll see you soon.